everything I love. It's the shot of vitamin C that I needed. What is going on, everybody? Sean Pierce Johnson here. It is Winter NAMM 2018, and I have the immense honor of sitting with the man whose amp designs have fueled my playing for the better part of the last 10 years. It's Aid, the legendary Aid Emsley from Orange Amps, and we are checking out a couple of the new things that they've brought here to the show. Aid, thank you so much for taking the time to sample this stuff with me. Your work has propelled my music for 10 years, and I couldn't be happier to be an Orange Amps player. Thank you so much for taking the time. So this is a pretty big year for you guys, 50 years, and you guys came out of the gate with two new 20 for you.
For Orange, like
50
for me, Orange.
Yes.
50 for Orange.
How'd that journey start for you?
I used to modify and restore vintage amps quite a lot, and I got taught in a cliff, and he was looking at getting some smaller stuff designed, because all they had was a couple of reissues at the time, and he said, I've got an idea, I want to call it the Millennium, and this was like 97, 98, and I went, well, that's all good, but what are you going to do when 2001 comes along and you're still sitting on stock of this amp called the Millennium?
It's like 20th Century Fox. What do they do now?
21st Century Fox.
Are they 21st century? They are in...
20th Century Fox.
They're 21st century, maybe on Futurama. I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, it was the AD-15 and the AD-30 were the first amps I designed for Orange.
Very cool. And those... I will say a couple of the bands that I listened to in my teenage years and fueled my teenage aggression and angst, they were rocking the AD-30s pretty hard. And that was a sound that was very familiar to me. So when I went searching for my tone, Orange was one of the first companies that I looked to. And thankfully around that time, the Rock Reverb came out, because I'm more of a hard rock guy, and I needed a lot of that gain.
See, I'm a barber-starving mod, really. My barber died, and I don't trust anyone else. I mean, he died of starvation. It was really sad. I just don't trust anyone else. So, are we getting our haircuts later? Isn't Casey's wife going to cut her hair or something?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Anyway,
I guess he's found a new barber.
Well, I'll try her out, definitely.
So then he's going to a beauty salon.
Well, no, I'm just going to get an inch cut off, see how that goes.
We'll see. I think you rock the long hair pretty well.
Get the split ends cut off.
All right. Well, you got to get rid of the split ends. Speaking of split ends, let's split some eardrums and let's talk about this little guy right behind here. This is the Brent Hinds Terror.
That was the Brent Hinds there. It's kind of a classic sort of... it's funny when I play for it, it doesn't really sound metal at all. I mean, Mastodon aren't really metal, are they? They're kind of their own thing, right? So
yeah, I would agree with you.
But when Brent plays, because of the way he plays, it sounds completely different.
Yeah.
So he plays the way he plays. No one sounds like Brent. Brent, it's most of, it's kind of, it sounds a certain way. I guess if you had his chops down, it would sound like that. For me, it sounds like AC/DC.
Which still sounds...
8000 or that sort of,
If that's what floats your boat, that's what floats your boat, and that's what you sound like, and it still sounds great. That's what matters.
Yeah. So there's that, which is really voiced for Brent. It's a Rocker 15 that's voiced for Brent. That's basically what that is. The main difference is in the dirty channel.
Got a little bit more oomph to it.
It's just different. The gain comes in differently. It's actually the Rocker 15 Terror actually has more gain than the Brent when the gain's all the way up.
Okay.
But the Brent gets there quicker, if you know what I'm saying. So you get a different set of sweet spots on it.
Okay.
So it's quite a different animal.
Well, I dig it.
We can plug the Rocker 15 in if you want to swap the feed over.
You know what? We'll go ahead. Hey, James, would you mind passing me that XLR cable?
Malcolm Young is probably one of my favourite guitar players, and he sadly left us last year. So
it's remarkable to me how, because you're running 84s, right? That has a feel to it that not many 84 powered amps has. Like, that sounds bigger, and it has that thing in the high end that I normally associate with 34s. I don't know, for me, playing an 84 amp, there's a slight compression to the high end when I play one.
It really depends on a lot of things in the design, and the transformers and the topology. These are 100% tube, both of them,
That's how we like it.
The effects loop is tube. Everyone else puts a solid state one in pretty much. Not many people do tube effects loops.
Any benefit between a tube powered effects loop?
Yeah, if condensation gets on the board and you get 300 volts on a solid state effects loop, then you're going to sound like this.
And all those giant supercomputer pedals won't sound so good.
Not if you can't hear them.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. So, Rocker 15. I had the chance to get to know the Rocker 15 combo a little bit last year, and one thing I always thought about it was, this would be so great for me if I could just plug it into another cab, which you could do. You can unplug the internal speaker, because I just prefer the sound of 12s. Hearing that through this new PPC 212 vertical, which I've been doing for years at a lot of the smaller gigs that I do, that is like the sound.
I personally prefer that, because I like, when you stop playing, I like my trouser legs to do this.
Like he likes the jolt of the pant legs.
Yeah, I like that that poof. So I kind of like them like that, and they don't get in your ears so much. Because I normally play with if there's any master volume on anything, that's all the way up when I play, and I just work it in to get so that you turn the guitar down a bit and it's clean, and then you bring it up and it's and I just hang with that, do the show. Right. That's kind of the way I roll, but that's just me. I mean, each to their own.
Well, I think the beauty part of what a lot of the work that you've done,
that's the thing. It took a few goes to get it so I wasn't pissed off about the way it sounded.
It sounds great to me, and I think the thing with a lot of the work that you've done over the years for Orange is that you've brought the sound to a wide array of players, because you're doing stuff that's a lot of Malcolm, a lot of Townsend, a lot of that. I hate to use the term classic rock, but those classic rhythm players that just have this great heavy hand. When they play a chord, they mean it. But then you have guys like Brent and Jim Root, who live in the metal world, chugging on their detuned guitars, that they can find their tone with Orange. Guys like me, who grew up with, like, At the Drive-In and Mars Volta being two of my favorite bands, same guitar player but an Orange player. But then also having harder bands like the grunge guys of Smashing Pumpkins, Nirvana, having Soundgarden, I'm still able to find that sound that I want in. We could both play this amplifier and I would be perfectly satisfied with it.
Yeah. Well, that's the idea. They normally sell better if I keep them simple, to be honest. It's,
who wants to go through like a 25-page manual to play an amp?
But I don't know. It's like the kids in the bedrooms like all those features and stuff, But for us, it kind of works better keeping it as simple as we can.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you.
So I try and make the controls do a lot, but have less controls that do more, rather than more controls that do very little.
Because at a certain point, it's like, well, what's the difference if it has 100 sounds if 95 of them sound like crap?
I mean, for the month, sometimes if you've got an amp with tons of knobs on it, you're going, it takes you 5 minutes just to get it set up again, so you could glue them down. Just go, right, we're going to super glue the knobs so they can't turn anymore. And that's it. it's going to sound like that. And once you got your sound, and but that would be impractical.
Yeah.
And it might mess with the pot, getting super glue, acrylate adhesive in there.
The man thinks of everything.
I want to do an amp with just a little archway in the woodwork at the front and just an input. No volume at all, just use this.
I could get into that. Strangely, I could get into that.
Yeah.
So now that Orange has reached this milestone of 50 years, and you've been working here for 20 years designing great amps, what do you see for you guys in the next, what do you see within the next just 2 years of your time? Hopefully more of
a
this.
load of product design that's waiting to be christened. I can't think of a name for the damn stuff. So, I've just got to come up with some names. I'm struggling with that.
The man needs help with names. I like naming things, so we'll talk about that off camera.
Yeah.
But
I'll send you an email.
oh yeah, he'll send me an email. This will be great. But I'll tell you what. Ed, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. You, like I said, your designs have fueled my music for 10 years, and I look to many, many more years of it. And hopefully,
be of help.
I will send you a thank you card about that. And thank you all for watching. And hey, don't miss the rest of the NAMM coverage. Click the subscribe button. I'm gonna play these things now. We'll catch you all real soon.